Hare Krishna. My name is Bhakti Charu Swami. I am one of the governing body commissioners of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON. I am a disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Today, I have been asked to speak on why I will never leave ISKCON. You see, when you get something that is so great, do you ever want to give it up? And my simple answer is that I have found the greatest spiritual object, and I never want to lose it. As it is, the spiritual reality is beyond this material nature. If you put all the wealth of this material nature, material world, it will not compare to even a speck of dust of the spiritual world. That is how precious the spiritual reality is. And here, through ISKCON, which actually means through Srila Prabhupada's teachings, I found the highest object, the most precious object of the spiritual world, spiritual sky. So, the question of ever losing it does not even arise. What to speak of giving it up voluntarily? As a matter of fact, I always pray to Krishna that I can stay on this path, life and life after life. Because I found the goal. Now it's a matter of reaching the goal. I don't really know how long it'll take to reach that goal. But since I found the goal, I know at least one thing, that I found the goal and I found the path that leads to that goal. So all I want is to remain on that path and keep on progressing, keep on moving forward. And if I keep on moving forward, then I know that someday I'll reach that goal. When I'll reach that goal, I don't really know. But the consideration that someday I will reach that goal, that is enough. Let it take millions of lifetimes, zillions of lifetimes, I don't care. And of course, ultimately, it all depends upon the will of the Lord. By dint of our own endeavor, we'll never be able to reach that goal. Like the distance is so far, that is practically, and the way to achieve that goal is so difficult that it's practically impossible to reach that goal by dint of our own endeavor. For example, if you are asked to swim across the ocean, who will be ever able to do that? No one. But if there is a ship, and if you get into the ship, then the ship can take us across. What to speak of flying in an aeroplane? It goes even we can cross the ocean even faster. So similarly, the arrangement is there to go to the spiritual world. Like there is a spaceship through which you can reach the spiritual goal, the ultimate spiritual goal. And it's a matter of just staying on the ship. And ISKCON is that ship, spaceship. And all you have to do is just stay in ISKCON, because that spaceship will eventually lead us to the spiritual sky. So that is why it is, the consideration is, to tell you frankly, I appreciated this topic, because it's often in my mind, like what will happen if ever I get deviated from this path? What will happen if at the time of death I get drifted away from this path, when I won't be able to work my will to decide what I want to do? Therefore, I simply pray to Krishna that he allows me to stay on this path, life after life. And so we found the goal and we found the means. So just keep utilizing the means and the goal will be achieved. Now, let us briefly consider, is this just a sentimental consideration? I can assure you that that's not the case at all. To me, it is a consideration of taking full advantage of my life. I got this human form of life, and this life came with an opportunity to go back to the spiritual world, go back, become situated in my spiritual identity. So I have this opportunity in this life because no other form of life would have given me this opportunity. What to speak of subhuman species like animals, reptiles, birds, and so forth. Even the superhuman beings like the demigods in heaven, even they don't get this opportunity. They can't free themselves from the material bondage and become engaged in their loving relationship with the Supreme Personality of God. They can. In order to achieve that opportunity, the demigods have to come to the earth planet. That's why we find that when Krishna decided to come to this planet, Krishna instructed Brahma to tell the demigods to take birth in the Jadu dynasty and Vrishni dynasty. So the demigods came to the earth planet, been born as human beings, and then they got elevated to the spiritual sky. So from heaven, they could not develop that relationship with Krishna. They had to come back to the earth planet. So we have this opportunity that is even beyond the demigods. So this opportunity we must take full advantage of it. And what is the relationship? Like Prabhupada, now let us basically, simply discuss about what is Srila Prabhupada's teachings. Srila Prabhupada's teachings are actually very simple. Srila Prabhupada is teaching us, the first thing Prabhupada is teaching us, that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. The body is made of matter. The body made of matter is material. Matter by nature is inert. But we are living. We are conscious. What made us conscious? The presence of the soul. So it's the soul that made us conscious, this body conscious. And when the soul leaves the body, this body made of dead matter becomes dead again. So our real identity is not this body. Our actual identity is that we are spirit souls. And we have to become aware of our spiritual identity. This body made of matter, due to our illusion, due to our conditioning in this material nature, we started to identify ourselves with this body made of matter. Now, first objective is to recognize that we are not this body, we are spirit souls. Then information about spirit souls are available. The nature of the spirit soul never dies. Spirit soul is full of consciousness, and spirit soul is full of joy. So we are actually hankering for these three things. We don't want to die, we want to know everything, we want to be fully conscious, and we want to be joyful. Now by nature, we are that. We are immortal, we are fully conscious, and we are full of joy. But in order to become situated in our constitutional position, in our spiritual identity, we have to develop our relationship with the Lord. And the basis of that relationship is love. So we have to develop our loving relationship with the Lord. And that process of developing the loving relationship with the Lord is called bhakti. Srila Prabhupada taught us how to develop that relationship. So first is devotional service in practice, which is called sadhana bhakti, and then it is spontaneous devotion. Like we practice, but when you become adept through that practice, when we master the process, then it becomes a natural, spontaneous thing for us. The love for the Lord will automatically become manifest when we become free from our material conditioning. And Srila Prabhupada is giving us that process, how to develop that loving relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Prabhupada is giving us the information what the spiritual world is like. The spiritual world is, the first part of the spiritual world is the spiritual light, which is known as Brahma Jyoti. The spiritual sky, sky means the space. So the spiritual space is that eternal light, brilliant effulgence that is emanating from the body of the Lord. And in that spiritual light, spiritual sky, there are innumerable spiritual planets. Those planets are known as Vaikuntha, or the planets where there is the planets that are free from anxiety, distress and suffering. And then in the upper region of the spiritual sky, there is a region called Mathura Mandal that is beyond Vaikuntha or the spiritual planets. There is that region called Mathura Mandal, and in that region there is a place called Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, the Lord enables His most intimate devotees to develop a loving relationship with Him in friendship, parental and conjugal. Like friendship, Lord allows His devotees to develop His relationship with Him as a friend. The Lord allows His devotees to develop a relationship with Him like father and mother. Like the Lord becomes the child and the devotees become the father and mother. And the Lord enables the devotion to His most intimate devotees in the like that of a lover and a beloved. The devotee there is a young girl, and the Lord is the eternal, youthful personality of Godhead, and they have their loving exchange like a young boy has with a young girl. So Vrindavan is the region where these relationships are offered by the Lord to His devotees. And it is actually very, very difficult to enter into Vrindavan. Only some very advanced, very qualified individuals who developed a very intense love for the Lord can ever enter into that region. But the Lord, appearing as a devotee, opened the gate of Vrindavan for anyone and everyone to enter there and develop these relationships with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that is the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna Himself. Krishna Himself came to give Krishna prema. Krishna Himself came to invite anyone and everyone to come to the topmost region of the spiritual sky to develop that very, very special relationship with Him. So Srila Prabhupada is offering it to us through his ISKCON. So who will ever even dream of leaving ISKCON once he has got this opportunity? Thank you all very much.